All right, when we're dealing with matrices, it's just the plural for a matrix. And a matrix is just an arrangement of numbers. It allows you to create entries, kind of like a spreadsheet. Okay? When you're dealing with a matrix, okay, you're dealing with these brackets that kind of, again, arrange or group numbers. These numbers, which are represented here by A, B, and C, are going to be arranged in rows and columns. Okay, so vertical are the columns, and then the horizontal are the rows. And when you look at the dimensions of a matrix is defined with respect to its dimensions, and it'll always be the number of rows times the number of columns. So R times C. Okay, it's not alphabetical order, okay, but as you label or name your matrix, okay, it has to be the number of rows by the number of columns. So this example right here, or I'll do a couple examples here. Okay, so here you have one column and 3 different rows. So when you name this, you're going to name it by identifying the number of rows, which is 3, by the number of columns, which is 1. Okay, so this is a 3 by 1 matrix. Okay, and again, the usage of this will be often for data, or a collection of data. We'll kind of go through that in just a little bit. Back to these matrices. So you have this 3 by 1 matrix. What would be the dimensions of the following? What would be the dimensions of this? How many rows? 1, 2 rows, and how many columns? 3 columns. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix. And the reason that this winds up being important is when you're looking at adding or subtracting matrices, they have to have the exact same dimensions. Okay, so you can't add these 2 matrices together. You cannot subtract these 2 matrices from each other. Okay, so you can only combine those if they have the exact same dimensions. And so let's take a look at how that happens. All right, so if these are your sets, your matrices, can you add and subtract these? Do they have the exact same dimensions? Yeah. They're both 2 by 3. So if they're both 2 by 3, we can find the value A minus B. We can find the value A plus B. Okay, when you're looking to combine these, so let's start with the addition. Okay, all you need to do is you combine the elements that match up in the same location. So when we're looking at combining A plus B, we take the top left plus the top left. So what is 2 plus 0? 2. In our middle number, we take the middle top plus the middle top. What's 3 plus 1? 4. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. Move down to the bottom left. Negative 1 plus 3. 0 plus negative 2. And then finally 4 plus a negative 1. Okay, and so your combined solution winds up just being the individual parts that align added together. Okay, same is true for subtraction. You just take their difference now. So what I want you to, or actually let's talk through this. So if we are looking at A minus B, again we take 2 minus a 0 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Negative 5 minus 3 is what? we're subtracting these, we get negative 8. Down in the bottom left, negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. 0 minus a negative 2 is positive 2. Again, we change the sign. 4 minus a negative 1 is 5. And so this would be our solution for the difference of A minus B. Okay, what I want you to do is see if you can find what the solution, the matrix solution, would be for B minus A. Okay, so if you're looking at B minus A, our top left is 0 minus a 2, which is negative 2. 1 minus 3, which is 3 minus a negative 5, which is, and we add, go down to the bottom left, we have 3 minus a negative 1, we get 4, negative 2 minus a 0, we get, and then finally negative 1 minus 4, we get. Now, how do these two relate? They're the opposites, right? And that should make sense when you're taking the difference of two things. Okay? You're just changing the sign. The difference is still the same. Just the direction that you're moving between them is different. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about here before I have you answer a few of these questions is how you're going to enter these online. Okay, and this is the way that you're going to enter your matrix online. Okay, if you look on your calculators, there's these squared brackets above the comma and the division keys. Okay, so when you set this up, you're going to begin with a bracket, and then you're going to move across the rows. So it's rows times columns. So as you move across the row, you're going to separate each individual entry with a comma. So if I wanted to write this answer right here in the calculator or online, you're going to have a bracket, and then you're going to write 2, 2, negative 8. There's our top row. To identify that you're moving to the next row down, you're going to use a semicolon. Now, the semicolon is located above the 9. It's the second function, the blue key, and then the 9. And then you write the second row. So negative 4, 2, 5. That's the end of my matrix, so I use the ending square bracket to close that off. Okay. Does everybody see how to find those on your calculators? Okay, and on your computers as well when you enter it online? Okay, so the brackets, each individual column or entry is separated by a comma, and then when you jump down to the next row, you use a semicolon. Okay, no spaces, just enter them straight in order to get your solutions. All right, what I would like you guys